Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems, and I want to be welcoming you this afternoon to our webinar this afternoon on demystifying marketing to doctors. Now, we have so many questions that come to us whenever people are looking to get in this business, and their number one question outside of is healthcare is still a good industry to be in is, if that's the case, and how do I market to doctors? How do I get doctors? So today we're going to kind of peek through the veil here. A lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today are the subjects that we normally talk about during the training class. So be sure to kind of take some of your notes here. A lot of you, again, that we've talked to obviously have had the opportunity to learn about this business and this business opportunity. So obviously take advantage of the question box that I'll be pointing you to here in just a moment. And I already see some people doing one of the things that we asked you to do, which is type in your name and your last name and where you're from, and we'll start calling your name out there. But let me share with you, some of you are brand new to our webinars, and we're proud to announce that we just crossed over a big threshold, because it puts us in a position to cross even a bigger threshold, which is 25 years, but 24 years in business with American Business Systems. We're very happy to announce that, and we look forward to what 2018 is going to bring. So for those who get into you're looking to get into a business that is strong, you're going to find here that you're going to find out that there's a lot of things that we've got on the horizon here at American Business System going into 2019, which would be, again, 25 years. So congratulations to everybody here at ABS for that. Again, my name's Eric Auger. I'm the Director of Research and Development here at American Business Systems, and certainly am very honored to have you here on our webinar this afternoon. Now, for those who've never been on our webinar, we want to make sure that we're being heard. And one of the best ways to find that out is if you'll just type in your city and state right there in the question box. You see it right down there. Type that in there. I'll see that. It'll show up your name on the right-hand side of all of that on my side, and I'll start to call your name out. But I already see that we've got Denise, and let's see, what part of the world are you from? You're in California. We've got Juan in Florida. Good to have you here. Salim from Texas here in San Antonio, where it's kind of still frigid down here in Texas. Guy from Utah. Tawanda from Annapolis. Good to have you here. We've got several folks here. Apollonia, I got it, from Massachusetts. Good to have you here. Teresa from Jonesboro. We've got Kavita from Florida. April from Texas. We've got Tammy from South Carolina. Got a great crew. Phil from Louisiana and down in New Orleans. Krishanda from Houston. We've got Nicole from Kentucky. John from Massachusetts. Folks, thank you so much for attending this afternoon. I got to stop sometime. We'll spend the rest of the time just trying to list out people. But this also gives you the opportunity to know where the question box is. Folks, we want you to take advantage of this webinar today. Ask your questions. That's what we're here for today. Patrick and I are spending this afternoon with you to help answer your questions. So whether it's on marketing, whether it's on another part of the business, we'll do all that we can, because what we want you to understand is that you're going to not just be a business owner and be kind of left out there to yourself. You're literally plugging into the nation's largest network of independent medical billers in the country. And you're going to be powered by all the services that we have here at American Business System. So be attentive for some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. As you're doing your due diligence, obviously you're going to want to look at the Better Business Bureaus. Check us out here at the BBB here in Fort Worth. You'll see that we have an A+ rating there. Now I'm going to introduce you to my co-host this afternoon. It's none other than our founder and CEO, Patrick Phillips. He is also the chairman of the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. We'll explain why that's important to you here in a little bit. But he's also authored, co-authored, he writes articles, he writes continual articles for the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. That's in there. We've got 3 books that we've got listed here. You can find any of these books on Amazon. We've got some new books that are coming out that is being written by Patrick. So Patrick, let's just get you on over here. I know that you've got a lot of things going on yourself today. we're going to be talking about mystifying marketing to doctors. Patrick, I think that's probably the biggest mystery to everybody, that people are, when they're looking to get in this business, I think they like the business of healthcare. They like even thinking that, hey, I think I can do this medical billing thing, because even you've said in training class, if you knew that I had a doctor to give you today, could you learn billing? And the answer is always yes. But we got to get that first client. This is what we're talking about today.
You know, obviously, people can start their own medical billing business. We'll kind of shorten it to that, even though our licensees do much more than that, on their own, you know, and go out and find out how to sign up a doctor. It might take them, you know, a lot longer, because we've learned the secrets after 24 years as to how to do that. And so that's part of what we're going to cover today, is exactly what do we teach in our training workshops to teach people how to go out and do that. And they're very proprietary secrets. Now, we're not going to go into detail about each one, but we'll give you a hint that when you come to the workshop, you're going to find out that all of these things work. Every one of them works. And if you just do what we tell you to do, you will get your first client. It's just a matter of you know, following our instructions. If you can follow our system, get it? Yep. American Business Systems, then you too can start your own medical revenue management business, we call it.
You bet. Folks, I mean, Patrick, we still have more people. David from West Palm Beach, good to have you. Timmy from Idaho, so thank you for showing up this afternoon. Tammy, you've already got a question in there, so thank you for putting that in there. But we really do have a huge crowd here, so thanks for everybody. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over the 5 topics that we're going to go over this afternoon. So the first one is demystifying the secrets for doctors, is how to get that first appointment. Patrick, let's take this off the table. We're not going to tell anybody or show anybody how to cold call.
Oh, that's a scary phrase, isn't it? Nobody likes that term, cold calling. I didn't like it. Now, I had to do it, Eric, when we started our business back in the late 80s. My wife was doing medical billing for one friend who had a durable medical equipment company, and then I thought, well, let's go see if we can find another doctor to do the billing for. So all I needed to do was to get on the phone, make some calls, and tell people, hey, we just started a medical billing company. Do you need any?
Yeah.
You know, and it didn't go over too well. I didn't get a whole lot of appointments doing that. So let's talk about how we teach people how to get that appointment.
You bet. Well, once you've got an appointment, then you've got to do something. And we're going to talk to you what a practice analysis is. This is one of those areas, Patrick, where you and I like to talk about different ways of really discovery. So this is, think of it in your mind, this is your discovery process. This is learning about the doctor. It gets to the old adage, nobody likes to be told what to do differently, but if we can get them to discover what they need to do differently, this is what this whole thing is about. So folks, you can see here, it has nothing to do with selling. We're not out selling anything. What we want to do is get the doctor to discover what their pain points are, what they where they're losing their money. And when you can kind of develop that kind of relationship with this doctor, you move away from being a salesperson to really more of a consultant there.
Yeah, in fact, that whole term, get an appointment, sounds salesy to me. What we mean is, how do you get in front of a doctor? How do you get past the gatekeeper? Yes. How do you get knee to knee, eyeball to eyeball with a doctor? They're very busy. That's very hard to do. Now, the way we figured it out is some proprietary information that we're going to share with you today, that we have figured out how to get right in front of the doctor. In fact, in many cases, Eric, the doctor will call you and say, yes, can you come talk to me?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly correct. So number 3, after you get through that discovery process, you've gotten past what you like to say, past the glass.
Yes, past that bulletproof glass that's there in the doctor's office, right?
Right. Now we're going to move to this practice analysis, the discovery process, and then setting up a live demo. Now, folks, this is one of those reasons why you're paying your investment, or you're investing in ABS to assist you in getting your clients. Because now we're going to help you set up what's called a live demonstration of the software. So, folks, we're not alone in this process. It's not like, I think a lot of businesses, Patrick, we just had here in Dallas um, a franchise convention.
Yes.
And a lot of those franchise conventions, a lot of people go to it. They want to work for themselves. They basically get a business in a box, and it's kind of left up to them, even with franchises. But then you're stuck with franchise fees, royalty fees. You can't be really independent. You can't name your own business because you got to keep. Folks, if you think of it this way with what we do here at ABS, we're partnering with you to strategize better ways to get in front of doctors, really what you get in front of doctors and getting those doctors. The fourth thing we're going to talk about today is preparing pricing and proposals. That right there can be a killer right there because nobody wants to underprice themselves.
Right.
About that. And then finally, I love this. The call that you get from a brand new ABS licensee who's done everything 1 through 4, and all of a sudden they call you up. They go, Patrick, I got a doctor. Now what do I do?
Yeah, now what do I do? So the implementation is very important. Now we're just kind of covering this briefly here to let you know what we're covering today. We're going to go into detail on each one of these. So Eric, let's jump right into that first one there.
Yeah, let's get the appointment. So what we're going to talk about is the importance of connecting with your community, using classified ads, building credibility, get prospects to come to you, build your list. So each of these we're going to go through individually, one with it. So as we're talking about this first one here, the top one up there, Patrick, if you can see that, connect with the community. Let's talk about that and what we do here with either this flip chart or this keynote or a PowerPoint presentation that can actually be shown on an iPad.
Well, the reason we came up with this, folks, is because you need a step-by-step explanation of what you can do for a doctor. And we didn't develop this for you to actually make this presentation to a doctor. So this can get a little confusing unless you follow me closely here. We're connecting with the community through your warm market. Now, you've probably heard that term before. It just means the people that you know. It could be somebody, your hairdresser, your postman, somebody that you met at your school with your kids. This is people in your community. They all know doctors, and some of them may be even having relatives that are doctors. So we're going to teach you how to explain enough about what you can do for doctors to get those people excited and hopefully give you some referrals. Eric, this is the #1 way that our licensees get clients. And so this is a very important part of that process, is explaining what you do to the people you know. It's just that simple.
I think let's kind of talk about one of those secrets, because I know, Patrick, that a lot of people are kind of maybe scared. They've heard the word networking and they've heard all of that and they go, ooh, I don't even want to go do that.
Right.
But how else are people going to know of what kind of business you're in? You know that we've worked with some of our licensees, and some of their best opportunities that they can find is maybe just with their small chamber of commerce. It's amazing how that can blossom into people kind of getting to know what you're actually doing. Yeah,
because those are other business people that meet at those business networking groups. They know other doctors. Some of them probably do business with doctors. Let's take, for example, if you met a CPA at one of those meetings, that CPA probably has doctors as clients. Well, that's what we call a referral partner. That is, you can partner with that CPA because they can refer doctors to you, and once you get some clients, you can refer clients to them as well. So that's just one of many ways. Remember now, we're going to show you a dozen different ways to get clients. This is just one of them, connecting with the warm market, and that includes the business market partners in your community. And this is about a 20-page flip chart or slideshow there on an iPad that will illustrate to that person exactly what you can do for doctors. And believe me, it gets their gears turning, and some of them think, oh yeah. Now, Eric, let me point out too that this is not, I remember back when I was earlier, I joined Amway. You know, they sell soaps and things like that. And they would tell you to go and connect with your warm market. Well, that's because you wanted to sell all your friends some of that soap, right? Well, this is not the same thing, because you're probably not talking to your friends and relatives because they may not be a doctor, right? So you're not trying to sell them anything. What you're trying to do is just show them enough about what you do to get their feedback, and hopefully they think of a referral here and there somewhere down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing about this is we're going to go step by step and even have an exercise in our training class, actually how to utilize this to precision. That's what you got to understand. We could give this out to you and you could kind of fumble along through it, but we don't do that. In our training class, it's down to an art, a science art, that what we're doing there with that. So that's really what we're talking about.
You just can't imagine, well, you can, Eric, of course, you've been there when we do that exercise, but you can't imagine how excited people get, because at the end of that exercise, most people in the room already have thought of somebody that they know that know a doctor that might need our help. And so it's a great way to get into that real easy. And believe me, every one of these things works. You can watch some of the interviews I've done with the licensees out there on our website, and they'll tell you, I just used your warm market flip chart there, Patrick, and I got a referral to my first client. So it's a great way. Don't want to minimize it, but we got a lot more to cover here.
Classified ads. This is interesting, Patrick. What do we mean by classified ads? What are we talking about here? This is.
Well, first of all, if you mention classified ads to young people nowadays, millennials would go, "What are you talking about? What's a classified ad?" So it's not putting an ad in a newspaper, because I don't even know if newspapers still exist. But the point is, we have figured out a way, a very secret way. So I don't want to get into the details of this, Eric, because we give too much away. But there is a way to find out where doctors are looking for help in their office, in their billing situation that they have. And you are going to be able to apply for that position as the owner of a local office of the largest network in the world of medical billers. That's us.
Yeah. And I think you kind of got a little hint there, but that's one of the things, again, that we kind of go through in much detail, again, during the training class. But now with that, Patrick, now we need to create a little credibility, because there's a lot of folks that get involved in this business, and we know a high percentage, 75, 80, maybe 90% of the folks that come into business with us here at ABS who've had no medical background at all, no medical. The only engagement they've ever had with a doctor is they've gone to the doctor. But no credibility.
You will actually hear that, because I usually ask this at the very beginning of the Monday class. 8 o'clock Monday morning, we start these classes. And when I get up there, I ask people, how many of you have any kind of background in the medical field? Well, you might see 1 or 2 hands go up, but they mean anything to do with the medical field, which is a big field, right? Then when we say, well, how many of you have actually specifically have a background in medical billing or coding, you hardly ever get a hand that's raised. There just aren't a whole lot of people that come through our training that already have that, because they're probably even, maybe they're working for a doctor right now. But we do have folks who come through that have a background. Some of them, in fact, Eric, have actually started their own medical billing company, but they just didn't know how to bill clients. So they come to us to learn those secrets. Our training, for that alone, Eric, just to know how to build your business and get past the gatekeeper and build some credibility with a doctor, that alone is worth our license fee.
Now, how are they going to? I was going to say, how are they going to build credibility now with this book? Because this book is actually not just a book. Obviously, you can go find this book out on Amazon. But is this being used by our licensees, though, to position them in a position of credibility? I think this is a key element. So, folks, if you kind of jumped on and you're looking at something else on the internet, we're going to kind of bring you back over here just real quickly.
Oh, let me get a copy of that. Here, hold on just a second.
Because this is really, really important, because as a licensee, you're going to get copies of this book, but you're going to have copies of this book with your name printed on it. And that's pretty exciting. And Patrick's trying to find a copy of it there. But as he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put this next slide up there, because I kind of blew it up a little bit bigger. And you can see right there at the bottom there, it says forward by Susan Smith, CMRM. What's a CMRM?
All right, that's a Certified Medical Revenue Manager. And folks, that certification comes through an organization called the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. And so it's as credible as you can get. But folks, look at this carefully. This is a book that I co-authored with Dr. Vicki Ratner. So you've got an MD who's written this book, and look, your name can be right here as having written the foreword. Now, we've already got a foreword written. It's just a very generic foreword. But the great thing is, I think Eric's going to illustrate that, is we have a way for you to put your name right there, not only on the front of the book and in the title page of the book, as you can see on the left there, but look over on the right-hand side. He's kind of pointing to it there with that arrow. You'll see that that is your name and contact information that can be inside the book. So this is a marketing tool. Now, this book is on Amazon right now, Eric, for $24.95. For doctors, it's a very valuable book. Look, the subtitle is How to Get Off the Hamster Wheel, Work Smarter, Not Harder, Get More Revenue, and Enjoy Greater Career Satisfaction in the post-Obamacare era. We don't know what's going to replace Obamacare or if they're going to replace it completely, but we are past that in most minds. So for a doctor, this is a very valuable book. It teaches them how to thrive and stay in private practice. So to have your name on that book, folks, it does not get any more credibility building than that.
Now, folks, if you think about it so far, if we just stop the webinar, because everything else we're going to explain to you here a little bit more in detail, but for some of you, I know your wheels are churning already and thinking that, you know, it's all about what we're doing, ABS is doing for you. We are positioning you to be that expert out there. We don't want you to go out there and just fumble. We want you to go out there and build that business. Because, Patrick, why don't you share real quickly, just kind of face-to-face with everybody, the real reason why? Because obviously we're not a franchise. We don't ask for any franchise fees.
There's no royalties, right?
No royalties, but there is then something incentivized for ABS to help our licensees get doctors. You want to talk about that real quickly?
Yes, and now we're going to show illustrations here in just a moment, folks, of some of the ancillary services that you can offer to doctors. That is, in addition to medical billing, you can offer about 7 other services or products to doctors that you make money on as well. They are wonderful door openers to get you knee to knee with a doctor, but you also make money on them. So guess who also makes money on them? We do, as a company. Now, that's not, you don't pay us anything. In fact, once you've paid your licensing fee, you never pay us another dime. But on the back end, with our technology partners, they are giving us a few pennies on each one of the transactions for those other services. So we continue to make money on an ongoing basis. That's how we continue to make money, as a company.
But that doesn't, again, that doesn't come out there just because someone's a licensee. The licensee has to be doing something. That's why we invest so much time and effort. We put these books together. We put all this marketing material together, and we put these strategies together because we're just as interested in helping you get a doctor as you are. So we know that you made an investment with us, and we're making an investment back into you.
Yeah, folks, you will not find another company in America that sells a franchise or business opportunity like we have here, that is as dedicated to you, the person who's out there actually getting the business, as we are. That's why we offer lifetime support. At one time, we only offered a year's support. Then we went to 2 years. And then at one point I said, guys, why wouldn't we support somebody no matter what, as long as they are an ABS licensee? As long as they're doing business, we make money on those transactions. So we want to support them. So now you have lifetime support. It never ends. You never pay us another dime for anything. Training, support, user seats, upgrades to the software, nothing. That's all inclusive in that one-time fee.
Right. And so, folks, I mean, just again, we're honored that you're here today to kind of, as you're doing your due diligence. Now, one other thing that you have, again, at your disposal is Dr. Vicki Ratner. And we put her book up here, but why don't you tell everybody about our connection with Dr. Ratner?
Yes. About a couple of years ago, I ran across Dr. Ratner. She's a very famous speaker amongst the medical field. She has seminars all over the country that hundreds of doctors come to. And the reason they come to hear her is because she speaks on topics like this one. Her latest book is The Myth of the Rich Doctor. Now, Eric, that means for a doctor, they hear that and they go, oh, yeah, I was told I was going to make a lot of money and get rich. And that ain't happening now in today's world. So they flock to hear her talk on this. And as you can see from the quote there, she says physicians in private practice walk away from an average of 30% of their income. Well, we can show them how to recuperate that.
Right. And so this is the great thing about being a part with ABS, because we've got a connection with Dr. Wagner. She's working with us. She's actually working with you again on writing another book, I believe. But she's there available for our licensees. This book can go hand in hand with the new thriving medical practice. So folks, you've got a lot of different weapons here as you're kind of building your way of getting more doctors into your practice or into your business, and we're just trying to show you a few of those things there. And what about prospects actually coming to you? This is an interesting one here that again, that's been very successful with some of our licensees.
Yes, we have spent thousands of dollars on trade show displays like you can see here in these pictures. They're very generic, as you can see. They just talk about revenue cycle management. That's a generic term. So basically, you can put your own company's name and logo on all of your material there in these booths. And we're going to show you how to find these in your area right now. There are companies holding these kinds of things. And they don't have to be medical conventions or trade shows. Anybody goes to a home and garden show, for example, right? Doctors included. So we held one of these here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area ourselves and set up one of these booths just to see what would happen. And it was a women's expo, I think. And is that it, Eric? A women's expo just for women, products and services for women. And in one day's time, 5 doctors stopped by the booth and left their card. Now, we weren't even looking for doctors to do billing, because as a company, we don't do billing any longer. We support you. We train you how to do it. But we were there to find licensees, people like yourself who wanted to start their own business. And sure enough, these doctors saw the sign, saw that we do medical billing or medical revenue management, and they came up and left us their cards. So it's a great way to get leads. And like Eric says, they come to you. They walk up to your booth.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting one here about building your list. Now, obviously, we're going to talk to you about something that we just launched here. However, again, how do you build your list? Let me kind of give you a little secret here. First of all you need is a business card. That's number one.
Right.
It is that simple. And I tell you why this is simple. You need to carry these business cards with you everywhere you go. Patrick, it is, for you and me, when the two of us and a lot of people here at ABS, medical billing is all we know. I mean, we talk about it all the time. So we could be at the grocery store, we could be at an event, we could be just about anywhere. Even when we go to the doctor, we're talking to the doctor about what's their biggest problems. And so you never know how just having the knowledge that we're going to give you in our training class is going to break you out of that mold about being scared about talking about your business. I'm just going, hey, you know what, Doc, I just want to know, I know that I'm here to see you, or you just start talking to people. It's going to just start rolling off of what you do. It has to become who you are. And that's what it is. You're going to start learning to build your own list. You're going to find out at the end of the week or in the month, you got 5 or 6 good people that you can literally follow up with just by, again, getting that knowledge here during our training class.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that horrible term. I don't even want to say it with my mouth because it's scary. But you don't want to go out and cold call on doctors' offices. We have a lot of licensees who will do that because they just like doing it, I guess.
Right.
Maybe they're masochists and they don't care if somebody smacks them in the mouth. But we do teach you how to gather up the business cards from the doctors in your area and then have their contact information. Now, because of what we've just recently added, you don't necessarily have to do that because we do have all the contact information for all the doctors in your area. And we're going to show you how we provide that to you as a start. But like Eric said, there's lots of ways in your everyday life that you'll connect with people and can gather up contact information.
You bet. And I tell you, whenever it's coming from you and you've built it, you start to feel proud about what you're doing.
Right.
Real quickly, Patrick, there's a question that came in here. Actually, two questions. Let me grab these because we're kind of at the bottom of the hour. I don't want to get them too far out. Tammy, you're asking the questions. Once you pay the licensing agreement here with us and you've invested, can I bring a partner to training? Yes, you can. There's a slight additional fee of an additional $1,000, $995, just for that seat. We want to make sure that we're taking care of all the materials that there are for the week and some other things that go along with it. But yes, your partner also will become certified. So they don't have to come spend $26,000 right now. If you're working this with somebody else, two of you can come. Just add the extra $995 to that, and then both of you actually get certified. And then Riley, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, now having said that,
yeah,
there is a disclaimer here. That's if there is a seat available in that classroom. And folks, this is not, we're not trying to, put the squeeze on you here. We're just saying if you plan to come to this one that's coming up here in a couple weeks, you should have your paperwork in here as fast as possible, because you can at least reserve seats for you and your partner if you plan to come to this one. Now remember, we do these about every 6 to 8 weeks, so it just depends as to whether you can get to this one or not. If not, then you should plan way ahead and get your paperwork done for the next one, because these are all filling up. They have, Eric, for the last 6 trainings. So I don't know what's happening right now in the economy. I'm not going to say anything about political stuff. I'm just saying, no matter what your views are, you have to admit something is happening that's good in the economy right now. So everybody is wanting to come to these training classes. They're filling up very fast.
Riley, question, is Southern California a good area for medical billing, or are there a lot of potential clients? Well, we're going to show that to you here just real briefly. But let me share that also with you, Riley. There are no territories. So you can literally be in any part of the country and get a doctor. So whether you're in Southern California, whether you're in Texas, you can have clients just anywhere. We can show you exactly how to do that. But getting back to the slides here, again, presenting credibility. Patrick, we don't want anybody to go out there and go print on an inkjet printer their marketing material.
I've seen some pretty pathetic looking printed materials in my time, Eric. Before we just spent the thousands of dollars on these professional flyers here, for example, licensees would be given, an idea as to what they could put on a flyer, and then some of them designed their own and printed them on their inkjet printer, and it really looked like a car wash flyer. It was not what doctors expect to see. Folks, doctors are seeing pharmaceutical reps on a regular basis, and you can trust me that the pharmaceutical companies spend millions of dollars on their marketing materials. So when we say we've spent thousands, we have, but not near what the pharmaceutical people. So you want to have something that really is slick looking. These, as you can see, are all the different services that I mentioned earlier that you can offer in addition to revenue cycle management, which is the billing side. And all of them can make you money, but you need to look very professional. So yes, we've built that in. You get over 2,000 of these pieces personalized with your company name and logo on them as part of our license package.
Yeah, you bet. Now, if you're a little bit squeamish about going out there and doing anything for yourself, and you want to work with some sales reps, we're going to teach you in our training class how to actually work with sales reps that can actually bring you leads. And now these folks don't have to be necessarily your employees. These folks can be contractors. They can be what we like to call power partners, where they might already be in the business like a pharmaceutical rep or some type of medical device rep, and they can't necessarily sell to the doctor for you. However, they can put that partnership together for you between you and the doctor.
I know people find this hard to believe sometimes when we tell them that we have a sales rep program, because I had one guy ask me, he said, Patrick, you mean there are people who like to sell? I said, well, first of all, the way we teach you, there is no selling. What you're doing is just finding out if the doctor has some pain points. Just like the doctor, when you visit the doctor, they poke you to find out if you're hurt. We do the same thing with that practice analysis that we mentioned earlier. But these people are out there. We'll show you how to find them, how to hire them, how to train them, how to pay them on commission basis, which means you don't have to put out any money until they bring you a signed contract from a doctor, along with a big setup fee that basically you pay them out of. So, folks, you can hire people left and right. I promise. This is a simple way to get your business off and running.
Yeah, you bet. Patrick, I don't know what we did. We struck something there where got people start writing in a lot of questions. So let me tell everybody, if we can't get to your questions today, these questions will go to the person that asked you, invited you to the webinar today, and they will follow up with you. But we're going to do our best within the time that we have to be able to get to as many questions. So, folks, I see Apollonia, you got some questions, and Krishanda and Denise and Timmy and Don. Folks, we're going to get to your questions, but again, we're still in the number one thing that we're trying to do is get you in front of the doctor. And you can see that we're really giving you a lot of information because, again, the whole topic, Patrick, today is demystifying this whole thing about marketing to doctors to remove the fear factor with this. Let's talk real quickly about holding educational events. How can this actually happen?
Oh, we've got a perfect way of getting in front of a doctor's office. You see all those people there? They're in one doctor's office, and we're going to show you how to get them together. I promise you they will be anxious to sit and listen to you and hear what you have to say with the methods we teach. And we have all those presentations already designed and out there on our licensee website where you can download them and watch them and see how they're presented. PowerPoint and keynotes that are ready to go, ready for you to teach them about things that you'll see. Very easy, very simple, and yet it's a great way for you to have a whole crowd of people just hanging on to your every word. See those people? They're listening to everything I say.
Yep. You bet. And then automate your marketing. And this, Patrick, is kind of is going to go with the next slide that we have, because that's some of the new things that we want to share about the how to get the appointment. But this one right here, remember, folks, one of the things that we shared with you just a few minutes earlier is kind of building your own list. Remember that you're meeting people, they hear about a doctor, all of a sudden you've got a connection there. What is this whole automated marketing part about, and how can that work in their favor?
Well, in today's email world, folks, we have found a way to get past that and get something into the hands of the people there in their office. And it's full color postcards and greeting cards like you see illustrated here. We have a whole series of these, what we call a campaign, already on our online system. Now, you won't be printing these or doing anything except going online, pushing a few buttons, and sending these out automatically each month to your doctor, your prospective clients, and keeping your name and your company name in front of them. And so we call it an automated marketing system because it truly is automated. And then you can pick from about 15,000 other cards that are available for you to send for birthdays and all kinds of other special occasions there, and even help the doctor build their practice by contacting their patients with those types of cards. It's all automated, and it's this alone, Eric, if I had this when Linda and I started our business, believe me, we would have built a huge business a lot faster than we did.
Yeah. This is just think of what you call drip marketing. It's just think about as a someone that's planted a garden. They've gone out there, they put their seed, and they're just got a little bit of water dripping on that, just kind of letting that lie there, and amazing what the turnaround can be. All right, Patrick, this one's yours. I'm going to let you kind of talk about this one because you're the one that's most excited about this. We're all excited.
Yes, we did. We did a little research just a few weeks back and found a company that had all of the doctor's contact information. And I mean, you can't tell from this little screenshot here, but folks, it lists everything about that doctor's office, how many people are in it, when they started the office, their phone number, their address, of course, the email address, the practice, the type of specialty that they are. All of that information is in a database, basically, that we can give to you for your area, wherever you want to market in the United States, we've got that list of doctors. So we don't limit it. You don't just get 100 or 200 or 300. You get all of the doctors that are in your area. Now, could you find this information on your own? Of course, it's out there on Google. If you Google, I don't know, chiropractors in Dallas, Texas, you'd come up with some names and addresses and things. You'd have to sort through them. You'd have to put them into a database, meaning you'd have to grab them and type them in, and then do whatever kind of marketing you wanted to them. We've already got that for you. It's ready to go. It's in an Excel spreadsheet, and that's a new way that we just came up with to let you feel like you've got a good, fast start out there for your marketing. That was just added. First time we talked about it today, Eric.
First time. So, folks, y'all are getting something brand new that we've never shown on any webinar, not talked about to anybody.
And this is, even though we paid hundreds of dollars for this list, there's no charge to you. We're sharing this with you as a part of that same licensing fee.
Yep. And folks, we're looking at just Alaska here, and obviously this is just a quick screenshot. But what do we kind of count? There was 1,600 in that particular area just for Alaska alone?
No, so, 16,000.
16,000.
Right.
Wrong number. Wrong digit. Yeah.
Right.
So, if anybody would like to care to go market up in Alaska, there's a lot of doctors up there. So that just
it's a time saver if you think about it, Eric, because if you wanted to try to get this information yourself off of the internet, it would take weeks of time probably for you to gather them all and find them all and type all this information in. You wouldn't get all this information here either. You just get their basic name and phone number and that kind of thing. We've got it all. We paid, like I said, hundreds of dollars for this list. So a great addition to our package this year.
Boy, you bet. Now, folks, if nobody's looking at their clock, I'm kind of watching. We're about 15 minutes till the top of the hour, and we've just gone through the first part. So you're going to have to buckle in here because we're going to have to take the rest of this pretty quickly and then do as much as we can, because I know Patrick's got meetings right after this he's got to get to. So again, folks, if we haven't gotten to your question today, because we have generated a lot of questions, there are a lot of people on today. So if we don't get to your question, I'm just kind of giving just a little disclaimer. It doesn't mean that we didn't want to answer your question. We're just going to have to maybe roll that over to the business coach that you're working with. So just to kind of keep that in mind. But we'll go as quickly as we can. Now, once you've got that appointment, you've gotten in front of that doctor, the biggest thing we want to do, Patrick, is do a practice analysis, which is nothing more than just a discovery process. What is really going on with the doctor?
Yeah, that's right. We want to find out where their pain is, and we've come up with actually, I think there's about 3 pages now, Eric. We're showing 2 there, but there's 3 pages of questions that we've come up with that if you get this information from the office manager or the doctor in some cases, you will have all you need to come back and prepare a proposal. There's questions like, is your current system server-based or web-based? How many claims do you do in a month's time? What are you currently spending on your billing? Those are the types of things that we get from them. And again, we leave the office at that point. We don't have anything to sell, remember, but we do go back and prepare a very professional proposal.
You bet. Imagine, just flipping this real quickly, imagine you going to the doctor and the doctor's already going to tell you what prescriptions he's going to give to you, but never ask you a question, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Keep that in your mind. This is what we're doing to them. So don't go in and rush to a doctor's office saying, hey, I've got all your solutions without asking them what their problem is. This is what this practice analysis is really doing.
Yeah, there's no selling, folks, in this at all. You are asking questions, that's all. But now when you come back with a proposal, it does all the selling for you, as you'll see.
Yep. And even before the proposal, once we've got that information from that practice analysis, this is, again, where you're connecting with support, and then we're setting up a live demonstration of the software and how it's going to help fix all the problems that the doctor has.
Yeah, now this is where I get excited, Eric, because this alone, what we do for our licensees right here, getting them to set up the live demo with the doctor. We get on, you see the guy on the left there, that's one of our staff members, let's say, that's doing the demonstration. On the right, you see the doctor and their staff. And then you, as the licensee, could actually be watching this live just like they are. sometimes we encourage you to go into the doctor's office and be there with them while it's being done. But the point is, this is invaluable, Eric. We answer all of the doctor's questions about our system and show them the technological advance that we have, the advantages that basically sells them on doing business with you and wanting you to do their billing.
You bet. Now, we're actually showing you what we actually show our licensees in training. So again, folks, we're showing you some things that normally we just never really show on a webinar. But again, we're trying to give you as much information to let you know of what you're actually getting for your $25,990, your $26,000 investment. Because Patrick, again, a lot of people ask, what am I getting for $26,000? This, hopefully, this has helped answer a lot of your questions so far. But you're going to go to our licensee website. You're going to go down there where it says I claim, and then there it's going to pop up the request to set up the demo and the consultation. And whenever it says consultation, we are really engaged with your doctor. And guess what? Again, what we're using, we're utilizing the information you got from that practice analysis. And imagine that we're connected. We here at ABS are connected with you through that practice analysis for your doctor.
Well, we're partnering with you. We are your partners in business. And since we make money once you sign up a doctor, just like you make money, we want you to sign up as many doctors as possible. So again, these demos are done at no additional cost, folks. That's a part of your licensing fee.
Yep, and we're going to take them and step them right through every part of the problems that they're faced with, and do they like their current EMR system? A lot of people ask, well, don't they already have their own billing system? Do they have their own electronic health record system? And the answer is yes, but there is a better way of doing that to resolve the problems that they're currently having. Remember, they've got problems, and it's probably, again, with the system that they're currently using. So we will show that doctor and get that. Now, once you've completed all of this, now it comes to time of pricing and proposals. Patrick, this is where, again, the licensee, our licensees, they don't have to go make up their own proposals, their own contracts, everything else. This is all, again, on our licensee support site, and they can print this off down them for it. And then that practice revenue report is there as well.
Yeah, in other words, these are templated documents in Word that you can download and edit and change any way you want to, putting your name, of course, and the doctor's name there on the front page, for example. And you pick out the services that you think would fit that doctor's situation out of all the services that we have. Then one of the things that's included in that is what he referred to as the practice revenue report. And folks, as you can see, we're going to show the doctor what their current costs are for doing the billing, whether in-house or outsourced, and then what we are projecting that their revenue could be. And you've probably done the same thing the doctor does. You look down there at the bottom line and you go, wait a minute, you can increase the revenue for me for $122,000 a year? And that's what they do. And that's why it sells itself.
And folks, that's after they paid you. So imagine
Correct.
That you're talking to the doctor saying, that $122,000, that's your money. That's even after you've already paid me to do the billing. So folks, this is, a lot of people, Patrick, ask, why would a doctor ever change their current computer system, their software system, their current EMR system? Patrick, if I could tell you and show you that if you just change how you run your business and your software that you're using, and move it over hours, and it's actually going to create maybe another $10,000 a month, who wouldn't want to do that?
Who wouldn't at least give it a try?
Absolutely.
And that's how some of our licensees market it, is let me see what I can do for you. Give me 60, 90 days, and let's see what the difference is. Or you don't have to pay me. You don't have to continue using me. It's that simple.
Yep, absolutely. So again, we have all the proposals, all the service agreements, everything that you're going to need to do all the paperwork. You don't have to you don't have to hire an attorney. We've already got an attorney that's gone through this, and I know that's one of the meetings that Patrick has to get to. He's got to get back with his attorney today, but this has been called over. Gosh, Patrick, is longer than I've been here, and that's been 10 years. So, these things have been tried and true and through not only our attorneys, but other doctors' attorneys and everything else. So this stuff is about as tight as you can make it whenever it comes to
Eric, we have people sometimes say, well, for for $26,000, I could figure all this out on my own. You could, but you're going to spend that much money on your attorneys just reviewing all your paperwork and agreements.
Yeah, you bet. After a while, you pay the bill on that one there yourself, so you certainly know that as well. All right, so last, folks, I think we're going to be able to make it here. Implement into the practice. So now we're implementing now directly into the practice, and folks, the great thing about it is that all of our training can be conducted online, just like what we're doing on a GoToWebinar right now. So imagine we don't have to send in a big team to the doctor's office. We can schedule this time with individual folks in the doctor's office, schedule it with the doctors themselves, sometimes for 4 hours, sometimes after hours. But folks, again, that's another benefit that you're getting from ABS, that you're not having to learn how to do all of this implementation.
Yeah, basically you turn it over to us and our staff. We've got technology partners, again, that will work with the doctor and their staff. And as you can see, this is a glimpse at their training website. We basically take them step by step through what it takes to get up and running using our electronic medical record system, if they are using that. And if not, just how to use the built-in scheduler that's available to them 24/7 online, and how to put the information in about their patients that saves you time and money as the biller on the back end.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so all of this is all implemented in there for you. You can see here, there's a training syllabus, live webinar schedules, role-based tutorials, front office, billing staff, your billing staff, if you got that, clinical staff, what the provider needs to learn, setup and administration. I mean, it's just one thing after the other whenever it comes down to implementation. So folks, as Patrick has already said many times on the webinar today, yes, can you save $26,000 and go start your own medical billing company? You can, but be ready with that calculator out, because it's going to take you some time to get there. So we're not here to sell you on anything. Again, what we're trying to say is, what are you getting for your $26,000 is part of what we're doing today. And the biggest part is helping you get that client. Partner with us so that we can help you recoup that and get your return on your investment back in your pocket as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Now
talk about $26,000. What if I don't like this, Patrick? Get to training, don't like it. Will you give me my money back?
Too bad. No. once you've sent your money in, that's it. Now I say that in jest, Eric, because we do have a money back guarantee. But folks, for any other business opportunity or franchise that I know of, once you've committed and sent them that check or put it on your credit card, that's it. It's a done deal. Yeah. With us, it's different. I said at one time to my staff, if we really have what we say we have, let's let people come to our training, sit through the entire week, get all the handouts, every proprietary piece of information and secret that we have, and then at the end of the week, if they don't like it for any reason, they don't even have to have a reason, just say, I don't like the way Eric looks. I want my money back.
Why do you always use that? That's the way I look.
Have you noticed how casual we are today? Look at this, Eric. We both decided just to wear a casual shirt. Well, folks, we really do have, this is the way it reads right in our agreement. If at the end of the training workshop, for any reason, you don't think this business is right for you, that's your decision, not ours, simply let any staff member know, and they'll arrange for you to receive a full refund of your license fee. Now, the license fee does not include the travel here or the lodging. That's up to you. So you would be out, maybe $1,000, $1,500 at the most for the hotel and the trip down here, maybe if you took an airplane. But other than that, folks, that's a very small amount of money to risk to see. And the good thing is that we know what we've got, and that's why we can offer this guarantee, because we've only, Eric, in 24 years, maybe a handful of people have asked for that. So yeah.
All right, so folks, as we kind of wrap up here, Patrick said, hopping on an airplane, if you want to, before you get to train, you can come by and visit us. We are located here in northern part of Fort Worth. So come by and visit. Just get with your business codes that you're working with. We'll arrange the visit. We've had several already this year. Kind of come by and visit with us. If you haven't had an opportunity to have a personalized demonstration of the software yourself, you ought to get that done too. Think about this as part of your due diligence. If you haven't seen the system, it's kind of like buying a car blinded. You don't even know what you're getting and how you're even going to like the feel of it. But we're going to show you and kind of take you through the whole process here of really why we're different and what will make you different and stand out than any other medical billing company out there. So this is one of the processes that you really need to take. I think, Patrick, I mean, this is about as close as we can get them to a training without them actually paying to come to training.
Yeah, we'll spend 30, 45 minutes, whatever you need to answer all your questions and see what you need to see to convince yourself that we really do have the leading edge technology that will cause the doctors to go, wow.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.